Hey everybody, my name is Chef Jonathan Michael. Welcome to Gourmet Cooking Made Easy. Today we're going to make lemon sauce. Alright, it's time to get saucy. Alright, so when it comes to making a sauce, there are essentially three components that actually make up a sauce. One is going to be the liquid, which is the body of the sauce. Now in this case I'm using water, but it can be any type of liquid. It can be juice, it can be some type of wine, it can even be a beer. Number two is going to be a thickening agent. I'm using cornstarch. You can also use arrowroot. You can use flour. You can use potato starch, so on and so forth. And then last but not least, which is the most important, is the flavoring agent. In this case, I am using lemons. I have two different types here. One is a Meyer lemon, which is a little bit less potent, and then right here I have your traditional lemons. So I'm probably going to actually use a combination of both, which gives you a really nice balanced flavor. Alright, step one. So it starts off with cutting your lemons and extracting all of the great flavor from it. This one I actually picked from my tree in beautiful Santa Rosa, California. So you can build your sauce directly in your pot. This actually helps to save dishes and to save time. You can take the seeds out after, or you can take them out prior. I'm going to take mine out after. So I just like to use a spoon if you don't have a lemon squeezer. Just pretty much stick it in there and turn it. And get out all of the juice. You want to get out some of the pulp as well too, as that's going to intensify the flavor. Really juicy. Juicy. Alright. And then we got the Meyer lemons, which gives it that nice balance. It's all about that balance, that yin and that yang. Alright. So, that's what I got. Step two. You want to pour your water in, which is going to be 1.5 cups of water. You can see the pulp in there. You can see the seeds in there. You want all that stuff to be in there. If you want to, you can even add zest to it, a little bit of lemon zest. You can either do that with a zester, or you can use a grater. And then last but not least, you can add your sweetener to it. I'm using cane sugar, which is going to be 2 ounces. You can also use honey. You can use maple syrup. And then you want to mix it. Alright, now that you have your mixture on the stove, you want to have it over a medium-high heat. And basically what you're looking for is you want it to come to a boil, because you want the sugar to completely dissolve. Okay? So we're just going to wait for a little bit. Alright, so once your mixture comes to a boil, which is 212 degrees Fahrenheit, then you want to add a cornstarch slurry to it. So a cornstarch slurry is basically when you add your cornstarch to the water prior to dumping it in the mixture. Now the very important thing is you must make sure that you use cold water. Never use warm water or never use hot water. Otherwise you start to activate the cornstarch, which is what you don't want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and pour this right in here. And again, there's 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, and this is going to be 1.5 ounces of water. I'm going to give that a nice mix. And then I'm going to pour this right into my mixture. Now depending on how much you put, that's going to determine on how thick your sauce becomes. Now you want to bring it to a boil, but once it reaches a boil, you want to stop it. Because if you continue to do it, what's going to happen is you're going to break the sauce and it's no longer going to have the texture that you want. So I'm just going to mix it. Mix it. And as you can see, it's starting to thicken up. And let that come to a boil. And there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. Alright. Now that you got your sauce, you want to go ahead and nappe it to make sure the texture is perfect. Now, a nappe is basically when you take a spoon, you dip it in, and on the back of the spoon, it should be coated with the sauce. As you can see, it has that nice coating on the back. And that's exactly what you're looking for. And that goes for any sauce, except for like chutneys and things of that nature. Now, once this cools down a little bit, it's going to coagulate and thicken up a little bit more. So after the lemon sauce has cooled for about 10 to 15 minutes, you should come to a state like this. Now, we was talking about nappe, pretty much how the sauce should coat the back of the spoon. All you want to do is dip it in there, and you should be able to like write your name on the spoon. And that's how you know that it's at a good consistency. Now again, you can change the consistency based on how much cornstarch you add to it. It's going to thicken up, or if you want it a little bit lighter, just remove some of the cornstarch slurry. So go ahead and play with it. Use your imagination. You can use it for a lemon bar. You can use it for filling for a pie, maybe filling for a cake, so on and so forth. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. You could have been doing anything. You could have been on Facebook. You could have been looking at another YouTube video, Instagram, etc., etc. But instead, you chose to spend a couple minutes of your life to tune in and watch me. And for that, I really, really do appreciate you. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Button is down low. Until next time.